Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 2 of Star Wars Dark Times. Now, as you know, Star Wars Dark Times was meant to tell its own original version of the aftermaths of Order 66 and Episode 3. And I would say, yeah, it's like the original version of Bad Batch and Rebels, but slightly better. And the cover mainly has Darth Vader in a giant form, trying to lift his hand up to control the ship. And the story mainly starts off how, on Coruscant, late at night, Darth Vader is pretty much troubled, and sends a message to one of his officers saying, "It's late, Lord Vader. Is there something wrong? Open a comm link to Commander Vel on New Plateau." And we see how the commander of the 501st gets word, and points out saying, "How goes the battle, Commander?" "It's over, my lord. The separatist holdouts have been destroyed. No survivors. They fought to their last beam." And of course, he finds out that there has been no sign of the Jedi Jenna, as well as that slaves and that are now being transported to another planet for their vessel. And of course, this is where we see Darth Vader learning what happened to the slaves being sold for a profit than the Imperial workforce. And this is where Darth Vader has a memory from when he was a much younger kid, back in episode 1, where he says, "I had a dream that I became a Jedi. I came back and freed all the slaves." And I think this is what I think Dark Times gets right with the early issues. It does show signs that Darth Vader is starting to regret some of his actions, and I kind of think this is where I think issue 1 did it better, when he showed regrets about him for what happened to Padme, and here he kind of now realizes that he's slowly becoming everything he hated. We see how on the transport ship, the captain of the ship, Captain Hesden, pretty much has Bomo and Jenna in their quarters until they find a way to kind of get off the planet. And we see Bomo saying, "Rest, my family's been taken as slaves." Bomo. And tries to kind of reassure him they will try and get the family back, but the Imperials have grounded every ship on the port. So we kind of see how Jenna has a plan. So of course, in the captain's quarters, the team are discussing what plans to go for, and we see how Jenna has a plan which everyone needs to be on board for. We see how, the sort of stormtroopers have taken over the planet with their machinery, and we kind of see how Jenna tries to take on one of the clone troopers and takes them out. And of course, we see him saying, "Something we can assist you with, sir?" "Lieutenant, the 501st is headquarters just down the road." "Sir, the ship isn't assigned to..." And of course, we kind of see how he takes off. And of course, Jenna mainly uses the ship to kind of get an advantage, and tries to take down the sort of former comrades and that, and tries to get everyone off the ship, off the planet, to warn them that the Imperials have ordered the destruction of every ship on the port, so everyone tries to make a break for it. And we see one of the clone troopers saying, "Get airborne, stop those ships." And we see how everyone tries to make a break for it. And we see how the team try to get into their sort of gun turrets, taking down ships and vessels. And we kind of see how, Jenna lets them know that it's him in one of the ships, and eventually manages to get back into his new team's ships, and says, "Good work, General. I owe you my life, Jenna. It was a team effort. We're all even." And of course, after kind of making a break for it, we kind of see how Jenna wants to know about the planet known as Ovax. And we kind of see how one of the crew members mentions about the planet and the terrible conditions. And of course, this leaves Bomo shocked and horrified. And we kind of see how Bomo mentions, "Jenna, I never set out to be a soldier. I never wanted to fight the Republic. But I wanted a better life for my family. Everything I've done has been for them. If I lose them, what then? You can't think of that. You've got to hold on to your strength. Keep yourself ready for when Messer and Resso will need you most. And of course, the story ends with Darth Vader looking over Coruscant. And yeah, this is pretty much the story. So I think issue 2 is slightly okay. And yeah, this is where they're gonna kind of have Jenna be the sort of main focus on Dark Times. You're gonna have Darth Vader having some regret in his actions. And yeah, the point of Dark Times before the whole Disney buyout merger was telling its own original version of Bad Batch and Rebels. And I think really, yeah, it does kind of feel a bit more original. It feels like Jenna's a bit more handled better instead of feeling a bit enforced. And I think the story still deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of okay, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.